Nobody
Yeah.
wants to spend time on something that they won't get compensated in sales,
Commission splits and conflicts. Yeah.
right? That's never fun, and somebody's getting the arbitrary decision in the end because many companies haven't decided that. I mean, maybe large enterprise has a process for that, but still not a pleasant situation. So that's great. I'm assuming you can connect this and integrate with things like Anaplan and other typical sales comp tools, right?
Yeah, third-party systems,
Okay.
ERPs, et cetera. So one of the things that becomes important is as you're kind of orchestrating that data, and usually sales has the best understanding of the customer once you do that work. And if you, let's say you disagree with the data that you have in your data provider, we have kind of some stewarding capabilities here that I'll show quickly that's going to allow you to make changes to that. So Berkshire's I picked strategically because it's a conglomerate, right? Geico is an insurance company, but you also have railroad companies and you have airlines and you have railroads and batteries, etc. So you may want to actually disagree. You may want to pull out Geico into its own family tree because it's a massive conglomerate in itself. So here I pull Geico out of Berkshire. And I may also want to see, hey, what did the data providers miss? Was there any other accounts in the environment that are part of Berkshire? So here you can see BNSF logistics. So you may want to add that in. So it's this kind of stewardship capability to make your changes according to how you go to market. Now, what happens there, right? So you disagreed. What we do is then provide unique identifiers on the accounts that you can then pass over to those third-party systems you're talking about, the Anaplans, the ERPs, et cetera, so that they have the same understanding of the account and recognize in the same way in those systems.
Yeah, that's one of those things that everyone is complaining about, why I can't see my territories in Salesforce,
Yeah.
right? Why I have to switch to some other provider, look to in a different system. And of course, the layout is different, the data connectivity is different. There's a limited number of fields. You can really drill down and see what's going on that account. So what you essentially enable the teams to do is you embedded this environment in Salesforce that has a broader data connectivity, and then you enable them to set up the territories, and then you send it back into the processing tools that are helping to deal with the payroll, attainment reporting, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep, exactly right. We also try to give a little bit of extra visibility, right? So it's helpful to know as a rep which accounts are part of the same family tree, what you've sold. But it's also helpful to see, well, which the accounts that exist outside of our database that we haven't sold into. So we're showing a little bit of what we call white space here. So those accounts that are part of Berkshire or Geico or whomever that you can go ahead and create if you'd like to go sell to them.
You have a filtering option. You can just filter things that are not covered as well. So that
Exactly.
is giving you a quick preview to that.
And you're just pulling this from a third party data source, or do you have secret sauce that's like adding to this list?
Both. Yeah. So a lot of people subscribe to a Dun& Bradstreet or Zoom
Yeah.
Info or Clearbit or specific to the industry like Definitive Health. So we can absolutely leverage that to build out the tree. And then as I showed on that stewarding capability, our own matching algorithm to say, hey, we found all these additional accounts that you probably want to bring in, and you can automate that if you trust it.
Have you seen anyone do these hierarchies well for agencies and the clients they own?
Oh, good question. Okay, so in those situations, the struggle is that there's no external data set. And so it becomes a bit more manual, right? Because the agency will sell to Coca-Cola and to NFL and all these others that have no logical tie. And so it's more using those stewardship capabilities, the drag and drop features and the search to create those themselves.
Yeah, Meteor Radar is kind of one of the only that does it in pretty manual way, and they don't inject that into Salesforce. So I'm always curious overseeing agency sales of like, that's the constant fight. Like the direct team gets it, they start selling to them, and it's like, wait a minute, this is through an agency and whatever. So
And it's important, right? Because now all of a sudden you just get that understanding of, hey, who are they dealing with? Can
yeah.
we start to do work with those as well?